why have we not been able to tackle insecurity, especially bandits' violence, terrorism? Why has it been elusive?
There's no political will.
There's no political will.
You see, the leadership of the North, and this is where we need to hold some people responsible. The leaders of the region and the people who have considered themselves into this dangerous set of killers are either not serious about this matter or outrightly complicit. And let me say this. Whenever I hear this nonsense called non-kinetic approach to security, it riles me up. Because there is no such thing in the textbook of national security where you have an insurgency and insurrection. Non-kinetic approach to insecurity simply means elements of good governance, trying to convince citizens to be more law-abiding and loyal to the country, using all sundry subterranean means, which includes entertainment, for instance, which includes art and culture, simple, which includes information dissemination. But when you have an insurgency at hand, people have raised arms to kill fellow citizens and to hold the state to ransom. You don't talk about non-kinetic approach. You deploy the full might of the state to defeat internal or external enemies, or let me put it rightly, domestic or foreign enemies, as enshrined in the Constitution. So when national governors begin to play with this idea of non-kinetic approach to security and are routinely offering amnesty, negotiations, discussions with bandits, what they are doing constitutes a violation of the Constitution. It is illegal, it is unreasonable, and for me, in case they do not know, they have become accomplices to the crime of banditry. Because the Constitution does not give any governor the power to organize peace meeting with killers of men and destroyers of properties. It does nowhere in the Constitution where there's a provision to say, okay, if people have killed 100 people, the governor of the state can call meeting and appease them. It's not in the Constitution. What is in the Constitution is that if you raise arms to kill one person, you go in for it according to the law. There is no amnesty in our Constitution. There's no negotiation of bandits in our Constitution. So what the governors have been in the North and some other leaders that are advancing this negotiation and amnesty, whatever, what they are doing is that they are committing a crime by being accomplices to banditry, and the state is sitting idle by. Any governor that is, as I've seen in these end times, the DSS is supposed to pencil down such a governor for prosecution after office once they lose their immunity. It's a crime. We must not condone this anymore, because the result has been that it has emboldened these bandits to restock their armament, their cache of armament, embolden them, and they are spread across the country. As I give them amnesty in Katsina, in Sokoto, and other places in the northwest, they are moving south towards north central states like Kogi, Kwara, and they are moving southwards towards the Atlantic, and wreaking the same havoc they have been wreaking across the country. Because you cannot rehabilitate a criminal, a bandit whose sole motive is money. He has tasted blood money. There is nothing you can do about it anymore until you kill him and neutralize him. Unfortunately, we have to play politics with this matter, and so the matter keeps festering. And that's why we've not been able to defeat them. We have given solutions to this problem. If you look at banditry, for instance, it's a culturally motivated crime with the end goal of making money. Simple. They have no basis for doing what they are doing. Now, I hear people often cite the example of Niger Delta militancy and the amnesty that was offered to them. And I said, look, these were two different scenarios. The Niger Delta is the region that produces crude oil that sustains the entire country. It's been sustaining us since the early 70s exclusively, more than 50 years. But unfortunately, the Nigerian state itself had not been just fair and equitable to the region that produces the black gold. It was eminent, it was everywhere we saw it. Environmental degradation, poverty, and all forms of economic injustice were meted out to the people of the Niger Delta region. It resulted into militancy, to protest. And guess what? How was the militancy? They were targeting government assets, pipelines, to draw attention to the problems in the region. Is that not so? They didn't go about kidnapping people across the country to protest this matter. But even when the government wanted to offer amnesty in acknowledgement of the failure of the Nigerian state, what did the government do first? The government militarized the Niger Delta. People forget this. Every local government in the Niger Delta oil producing states had one special task force, a military formation of the proportion of a battalion led by a lieutenant colonel. It was militarized. The government deployed brute force to restore security. Look, Tompolo you are seeing today was smoked out.
That's right.
Of his campaign tunnel. While the Baramatu kingdom was bombarded aerially by the Nigerian Air Force. The palace of the Baramatu, the pere of Baramatu, the Baramatu kingdom was raised down by the Nigerian Air Force. It was under this pressure that the elites of the Niger Delta said, okay, if this one agreed to lay down arms and government agrees to carry some level of restitution for the region, would there be peace? Both parties agreed. And there was a timeline. If you surrender between now and then, okay, we understand that this was within the context. Amnesty was not given to kidnappers in Niger Delta. Amnesty was not given to armed robbers in Niger Delta. No, it was militants under the guise of men or Niger Delta volunteer force, organized resistance. And again, we offended Niger Delta, a region that feeds all of us. What did I do to the cattle breeder, to the herdsman, to the Fulani herdsman, to warrant him to constitute himself into a bandit across the country? What did the Nigerian state do to the Fulani bandits? I want to know. What did you do to them? What nothing. I can't remember any petition for environmental degradation. No, nothing. They are the ones of their own gold. So what did we do to this group of people that they showed the entire country to ransom? I'm talking about amnesty. What did we do to them? What did we do? Nothing. It is pure criminality based on absolute nothing. And rather than deal with it as criminality, we are playing politics. And the region that is most affected has its leadership playing to the gallery, playing the ostrich, and not coming out forcefully to support the federal government to deploy full force to solve this problem. They keep giving one excuse of the other. You've heard Gumi now, as someone has come out to tell us all sorts of stories that they lack schools, that they don't have potable water, and so on and so forth. Mr. Sheriff, do you have potable water in your house? I don't have.
I don't have.
Do your children attend quality, affordable public healthcare institutions, or providing healthcare or educational institutions? What is it that government really does for anybody in Nigeria citizens? So why are we not all bandits protesting lack of potable water in our communities and kidnapping fellow members of our community and asking for ransom from the same community where we claim is being marginalized? It's pure madness that cannot be rationalized under any guise. But unfortunately, I think the president of Nigeria and other politicians from the south are wary of the largest voting demography in Nigeria, which is home to the bandits, and they don't want to offend sensibilities. And I'm like, what sensibility are you not going to offend when people are being killed almost on a daily basis? Time without number, these negotiations have collapsed. This amnesty offer has collapsed. Because each time you do that, you embolden them. And let me tell you the danger in this, or in all of this. The rate of people who are feeding these bandits fat, a time will come that they will come for the state. Because they will now look at the fact that beyond us kidnapping individuals and collecting ransom, we can go for the state, we can defeat the Nigerian state. In case you do not know, my dear brother, the war going on in Sudan today is between former bandits and the government of Sudan, the military of Sudan. The RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, that is led by Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, we are former members of the Janjaweed militiamen, a group of Arab bandits that wreaked havoc in Western Darfur region of Sudan. And as a reward system, the government of Sudan, who are fellow Arabs like them, incorporate them into the Sudanese army. Today, they are challenging the authentic Sudanese armed forces for the control of the Sudanese state because they have become that powerful. If we are not careful, northern Nigeria might fall under the control of bandits. If it doesn't happen today, it will happen tomorrow, except the government takes decisive action today.